Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Whiteboard Wednesdays with Werner, and we are still on the AI train and we are heading that train into another myth. Rudolf, who's joined me again, is AI smarter than, I'm not going to say me, but the human? Maybe we'll get to the me later, but Is AI smarter than a human?
Where AI is very, very good and very strong, and sometimes much stronger than humans, is within set boundaries, set constructs.
Yes.
For example, if you look at an LLM, you have a massive data set. I mean, the new data sets have got 400 billion data points.
Yeah, huge.
And it can take that data, parse it, inference it, and actually give you an answer out of that data set much quicker than any human can process that amount of data.
So synthesizing information.
Synthesizing that information out of all of this underlying data.
Yeah.
That AI is very good at. And I think that's one of the key values of AI.
So what we're saying effectively is, it can answer the question of what, where, and how faster than a human. So maybe in that way, it might be considered more intelligent, but it's purely because it can process a body of large corpus of information much faster. Yeah. But what is still human-centric is answering the why question, right? Yeah. Because why implies understanding, 100%. Reasoning, and coming to a conclusion of relevance or value, whatever that might 100%. Be. And AI is not there yet in terms of doing that.
The key things that's disrupting the media industries and marketing.
Seeing it all over the show now.
Is around the image generation, the video generation, those types of things. One of the key challenges is, for example, something silly like specifics of human fingers. So an AI will look at all the different pictures, but your hand may be like this, you might have a closed hand, you might have some holding something, so only 2 or 3 fingers are visible. That's why AI struggles with human beings having 5 fingers in the images.
It doesn't actually know it's got 5 fingers.
It doesn't know. It can't reason to say this is a human being, so it should have 5 fingers. It goes and pulls a statistical model across the images in its data set and then tries to generate something from that.
Yes.
And that's the reason why you have issues around specifics like fingers, sometimes appendages, sometimes you get some really weird images unless you tell it specifically, draw me a hand with 5 fingers. And I think that's also where you need to understand prompt engineering and those types of things to get the most out of AI because of that lack of, call it, general intelligence. And you kind of get the two camps where some people say it is inevitable that we will reach artificial general intelligence. I'm a little bit more conservative, where we don't even understand how and why we think. So trying to construct that in code is going to be near impossible.
Exactly.
So
in narrow areas, in narrow AI, 100%. Very specific rules, set of rules, maybe we already seeing something that is close to, something that is making decisions on your behalf, right? But that's because the parameters 100%. Are finite.
100%. For example, self-driving cars.
Yes.
The rules of the road are a finite set of ways that you should act in these circumstances. If you drive on a road, if there's a car, give way that the car can move in. You have a set speed limit. You have certain ways that you act depending on which lane you're in. It's all a very set, finite construct set of rules within which you operate on the road.
Yeah.
AI is doing very well there. There's great strides in autonomous driving. You even have things like these Uber services or Uber-like services now that don't even have drivers in the car. You just have a automated car that rocks up, you get in, there's no driver sitting there, and it drives you to your destination.
Yeah, the autonomous nature of it, right?
The autonomous nature of it. But it is because it's within a finite set of rules.
Correct. Once again for joining us, and to our audience for joining us for this episode of Whiteboard Wednesdays with Werner. We'll see you next time.
Cheers.